And then I decided, let's make a live stream, because this can be a video as well. And a big part of the point of this is that I just want to share myself authentically, share what's going on in my mind, and do my best to stay in a place of authenticity where it's not coming from a place of performance, because God doesn't require you to perform. God doesn't ask that you be something you're not. So in this moment, I remind myself to breathe. And I want to talk about the same thing. And maybe I'll post that video. That's what I said. It's where you get in that mindset, right? Of it's got to be perfect. It's got to be edited this way. It's need to be presented in this way. And that is important at times, right? I was making a video and I didn't have a shirt on. And I was like, I should put a shirt on because that's a better presentation. But that's just a part of that. For those moments, I was reminding myself of why I used to make videos, because it's like being able to talk to yourself and ever being able, you want to be able to process, say, hey, I love you, I accept you, you're beautiful. Looking in the mirror and saying that to yourself. Making a video in this format is kind of the same thing. And so, in that way, that's what I was practicing. And then I was like, wait a sec, I remember I used to make these and then I felt like whatever I was sharing could be helpful or useful to somebody else. And so then that's why I would then post it or turn it into a video. Doing the let go of the judgments of the mind or the judgments that someone else can have of you. I love you, thank you. If you have a judgment or perception of me that doesn't align, that's okay. But the topic of what it was that I was talking about was change and making changes in your life. And what was being brought to my mind was the image of the freeway that's been being constructed within the city for years now. And that when we make changes in our life, especially changes that have to do with generational trauma or curses or the things that have affected the generations before you and yourself, it takes time for that change to be anchored into place, to be able to be used by others. So in the same way with that freeway, imagining that, when that freeway is complete, many people will be able to use that. In the same way, when you are breaking generational, I don't like the word curses, so the generational trauma, when you're breaking that generational trauma, when you're changing what affected the generations before you, it takes time to be able to build the freeway of that so that others will be able to use it, and then the next generations will be able to use that. It's easy to go out in your yard and maybe make a pathway. It's definitely easier to take an already established pathway. That would be like choosing what the generation before had done. So you want to break things that weren't serving the generation before you, that you saw them go through suffering at times. And by changing the choices you're making, you're changing that pathway. You build a bridge rather than, say, a freeway. More people are going to cross over that and be able to use that, and it's going to get them over a larger challenge, right? A pathway may just be to show someone a way. A bridge is to get over something that's in the way. A freeway is to increase speed. That's okay. If there's no one in the stream, then the video is just going to post and somebody else can watch it later. So that's okay. There's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be people that go against you. That's okay. I love you and I accept you. But you're there also. You made a comment. So at least one person is there. Regardless, this is for me as much as it is for anyone else that moves through the live stream and hears the words here. But then it takes time. It takes time for those changes to be anchored into place. It takes time for a bridge to be built. It takes time to break and heal generational wounds or trauma. And that was like the big reminder for myself today. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I can have this space and this time, this moment, to be able to be reminded of that. Because sometimes when you're on the journey, especially when it's a long, arduous journey, you want to give up. You're like, is all the changes I've made, is the 5 years of sobriety, is the 1 day of sobriety, is the 1 week of sobriety, is the 1 month of sobriety, does this really matter? Yes, it does. If you come from a generation or a lineage or a family that has dealt with addiction, by you sticking towards that and not giving up on it, you are making that change for the next generation. And it's not always going to just be your biological family. It's going to be your soul family. It's going to be your friends. It's going to be anyone around you that was in that generation of addiction. And to remind yourself of that you're helping yourself, because in turn it's going to help others. Depending on how you like to look at the universe, if you see it as the big fractal, by helping yourself, you're helping others in that way. And so that's just my motivation to continue on my journey and to remind myself of why I'm doing that. And as this metaphor and analogy of the freeway construction was coming to mind, as well as to remember that everybody has their own little part to play. Everybody has their own path and journey and thing that they're here to help with, their own divine mission or divine purpose. Some people are there to build the freeway. Some people were there to design the freeway. Some people are there to clean up after the construction of the freeway. Some people are there to inspect or test the freeway. There's many different roles that we are able to, amen, thank you, that we all play. And so that's my aspect of the journey. Is that I'm the, I don't know what I am. I don't even know in that analogy or metaphor what I would call myself in the construction of the freeway. That there's some of us that I don't know. I don't know how to define my purpose. God has just always told me that all of the challenging things that you've gone through in your life, you're going to be able to help others with because you went through it and because you lived through it and you survived it and you made the changes. And that's, I don't know what you call that role, but that's me. Something that I've been kind of trying to change my career towards is a peer support specialist, a counselor, something like that. It's going to take time for that. I've done construction work. It's probably why the analogy resonates most of my life. I've done electrical work, which when you look at theory and all those other things, those overlap as well. And I'm just so grateful to be where I'm at right now on the journey. I hope that anything I say here helps somebody else, and if it doesn't, that's okay. I hope that I'll make this live, whatever, viewable afterwards, and hopefully it helps somebody. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I'm just doing my best. I remember talking to my dad about this, and if you think of other roles, jobs, etc., that you can play in life, that if you're a musician or a comedian or somebody that's sharing your passion, that there's going to be times where there are people that boo you or heckle you or don't like you or don't like your music or don't resonate with what you're saying, and that's okay. That's part of the learning. There's going to be times, especially when many musicians start or comedians start, you show up somewhere and there's nobody there. There's nobody in the live stream. There's no audience. There's one person in the audience. If I help one person today, I feel ecstatic with that. That means that I'm living out God's purpose for me. That means that I'm living out that divine purpose. And if not, then it's okay, because I'm helping myself by learning how to do that, by practicing in this moment. But I feel divinely guided here in this moment. I feel what I'm sharing is divinely guided. And I'll humble myself always and say that I'm a willing servant of the all. That's been a big part of this journey as well. When I pray every day, almost every day, to align my free will with the divine will for my life, That's what I mean. When I pray to align my free will with the divine will for the highest good for all, not just me, the generations to come, the generations that are here now, all of it, that's this process. That's part of all of this. And so I'm grateful for this space. I'm grateful for the support of different I can't read your name there. Of Belma. I'm grateful for support in all forms. And I'm grateful for the person there in the beginning that's the heckler, right? I'm grateful for the learning experience. I'm grateful for all of it. And I've never been one that has been motivated by, I need to have all the followers, I need to have all the viewers, I need to have a large audience. I'll never forget Genevieve teaching me that if you can help one person in a conversation today, if you can be the good in one person's day, if you can inspire one person, if you can help or encourage one person today, that's enough. And that's what matters. Because I'm not doing it for likes. I'm not doing it for follows. I'm doing it from just the pure passion of my heart of sharing where my mind was at. How I want to encourage others to continue to make changes in their life that help them and help others. So, if somebody's watching this video back, I recognize that the flow may be a little here and there, because when you do a live stream, the flow is going to be interactive versus just, here's a pure expression of a video. This is kind of me flowing through. So thanks for flowing through it with me. Big reminder to breathe and find balance through all of it. To give ourself grace, as the comment says there. Giving myself grace. This morning I woke up and I was like, I love myself. I accept myself for who I am. Not from the sense of my ego, but my soul. I love myself. I accept myself. Love myself. I accept myself exactly as I am. I am perfectly imperfect, and I'm so grateful that my authentic true self can shine through. And I'll recognize that there is a part of that when you want to share these things, you want to be heard, acknowledged, understood. But it's beyond just that, because it's also I want to be able to help anyone else. And I try to make it more than just about myself, and that's where I feel like the humility level comes in. But, yeah. And so, I'm probably in this after about 2 more minutes. There's so many different perspectives and ways to navigate the life that we move through. There's so many different ways to express ourselves. There's so many different ways to share our passion. But the biggest reminder is just that change takes time. Especially if you're making changes that will help others and not just yourself in the end. Always a reminder to bring it back to self-care, to bring it back to yourself, to remember that you're making the changes for yourself first and foremost. But it can be motivating when you know that you are healing generational wounds and trauma when you heal yourself. That can be motivating. Don't let that be the only motivation, because then you fall into the savior role, and that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to focus on saving and changing ourselves, so then it spreads out. And all these reminders for myself when I say these things. As much as anybody takes from this video, this is for me as much as it is for you. Because we know we're all one. We know that's how unity works. We know that it fractals out. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Much love right back at you. And so that's why I do this. That's why I've made these videos. It's why I just share my journey. That's why that's why I'm here. I'm just trying to continue to be authentic, continue to be that best true version of myself, follow divine guidance, go where God needs me to go, so on and so forth. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. Thank you for your kind comment. That means a lot. But that was kind of the mix of making this or doing this live stream right now. Making this live stream was so that I could also post it as a video, so that if somebody needed to watch it later, they could get inspiration or encouragement from it or support from it. Because I made 2 videos before, and when you make a video that isn't a live stream, my mind goes, I need to edit it. I need to make it this. I need to make it this perfect expression or presentation or so forth. This is just authentic flow. That's what this live stream is. It's such an interesting perspective to be able to look at it in the different, to be able to see it in the different ways, to see the different layers. As I see a beautiful dragon fly outside, that always reminds me that angels are always around, no matter where you go. And we're so supported, and we're so loved, and we're so cared for by God, by the entire universe, that everything is there to support us and help us on the journey. I don't know, did I share that one in this one? I don't know. I was doing the other video, but I was sharing that was that I want the continued strength and confidence that I have. There was a little wasp that was stuck in the windowsill where there was a spider web, and I put my finger there, and it climbed up on my finger. And you know, you have a wasp on your finger, and you're like, oh my gosh, is it going to sting me? I've had enough experiences with bees and wasps that if you keep your energy field in a I'm not afraid state, then they will not sting you. And I was able to then take it outside and be able to let it go. And that's what I hope for everybody and for myself, is that we have that continued strength as we go through our process of life and our growth and our journey. But I also am learning to set boundaries, timelines, guidelines with myself. And so I did say I would end the live stream. And so when I say things, I need to follow through and do what I say. So I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream with a prayer, with an affirmation. And that's the reminder as well that it doesn't need to be a performance. It's just straight from my heart. So take a few breaths to recenter. So that our heart and mind can be in sync. I say, God, divine infinite creator of the universe, of my soul, of our souls, I give so much thanks and gratitude for this space, that I'm able to share and express myself, that I'm hopefully able to uplift and encourage others. We know why we do the things we do, and we are all learning and growing and making beautiful changes in our life for the most beautiful of reasons. And I'm so grateful and so blessed for this process. I'm so grateful that when I'm in those dark moments, I can remind myself to turn on the light. And you're right there, and we are all right there being supported. I'm so grateful. Just so grateful. I'm grateful for the reminders that were brought to my mind today, so that I'm able to continue to take inspired action and continue to have motivation on my journey. And I'm so thankful for Jesus Christ, for all of the ascended masters, for all of the teachings and all of the different forms that are there to help us on the journey. I know that we are always supported. I know that we are always loved. I know that we are always accepted. I know that we are always cared for. Thank you. Thank you for this video. Thank you for allowing me to be me. Amen. So it is, so it shall be. It's already done. We just have to live it out. We affirm those things. We give thanks. We give gratitude. We know we're blessed. We know all of these things. So, if you're watching this video back, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. If you were part of the live stream, stay blessed. It's going to continue to be a beautiful, wonderful day. And if it's not, and you're going through a down, it's going to go right back up. So, I'm here for you. We're here for each other. God, the divine infinite creator, has our back, and we can get through this. And we are supported, and we are loved. Sometimes I have a hard time with letting go and the endings of things, so this is where this ends. Peace, love, unity. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.